Today our topic is how Stoics dealt with loneliness. Loneliness is something everyone feels at some point in life. It can come when we are alone, or even when we are surrounded by people. The Stoics, who were ancient philosophers, had a unique way of dealing with loneliness. They believed that loneliness is not about being physically alone, but about how we think and feel inside. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. This idea can help us deal with loneliness in a powerful way. The Stoics believed that our emotions come from our thoughts, not from the outside world. So, if we feel lonely, it is not because we are alone, but because we think in a way that makes us feel lonely. This is a key idea in Stoic philosophy. Let's explore how the Stoics dealt with loneliness and how their ideas can help us today. First, the Stoics believed in the importance of self-reliance. They taught that true happiness comes from within, not from other people or things. This means that we should not depend on others to make us feel good or complete. If we rely too much on others, we will feel lost when they are not around. But if we learn to rely on ourselves, we can feel strong and peaceful no matter what happens. This is not easy to do, but it is possible with practice. The Stoics practiced self-reflection and self-discipline to build this inner strength. They spent time thinking about their thoughts and actions, and they worked to improve themselves every day. By doing this, they learned to be content with themselves, even when they were alone. This is a powerful way to deal with loneliness. Instead of looking for others to fill the emptiness, we can look inside ourselves and find peace. Second, the Stoics believed in accepting what we cannot change. Loneliness often comes from wanting things to be different. Maybe we wish we had more friends, or we wish someone would understand us better. But the Stoics taught that we cannot control other people or the world around us. We can only control our own thoughts and actions. When we accept this, we stop fighting against reality and start finding peace with it. For example, if we are alone, we can accept it instead of feeling sorry for ourselves. We can use the time to reflect, learn, or grow. This does not mean we should never seek connection with others, but it means we should not let loneliness control us. The Stoics believed that acceptance is the first step to freedom. When we stop resisting what we cannot change, we open ourselves to new possibilities. Third, the Stoics believed in the power of perspective. They taught that how we see things is more important than the things themselves. For example, being alone can feel like a curse or a gift, depending on how we look at it. If we see it as a curse, we will feel sad and lonely. But if we see it as a gift, we will feel grateful and peaceful. The Stoics practice seeing things in a positive way, even in difficult situations. They believe that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. So, instead of seeing loneliness as a problem, we can see it as a chance to learn about ourselves and become stronger. This shift in perspective can change everything. It can turn a painful experience into a meaningful one. Fourth, the Stoics believed in the importance of purpose. They taught that having a sense of purpose can help us overcome any difficulty, including loneliness. When we have a purpose, we feel motivated and focused. We know what we are working toward, and this gives our life meaning. The Stoics believe that everyone has a purpose, even if it is not always clear. They encouraged people to find their purpose by reflecting on their values and goals. For example, if we value kindness, our purpose might be to help others. If we value learning, our purpose might be to gain knowledge. When we focus on our purpose, we feel less lonely because we are connected to something bigger than ourselves. Purpose gives us a reason to keep going, even when life is hard. Fifth, the Stoics believed in the value of community. Even though they taught self-reliance, they also knew that humans are social beings. We need connection with others to thrive. The Stoics believed in building strong, meaningful relationships based on mutual respect and kindness. They taught that we should surround ourselves with people who inspire us and help us grow. But they also warned against depending too much on others for our happiness. The key is to find a balance between being independent and being connected. This way, we can enjoy the company of others without feeling lost when they are not around. The Stoics believed that true friendship is about giving, not taking. When we focus on being a good friend, we create deeper, more meaningful connections that can help us feel less lonely. Sixth, the Stoics believed in the practice of gratitude. They taught that gratitude is one of the most powerful tools for overcoming loneliness. When we focus on what we have instead of what we lack, we feel more content and peaceful. The Stoics practiced gratitude every day by reflecting on the good things in their lives, no matter how small. For example, they might be grateful for their health, their ability to think, or the beauty of nature. By doing this, they shifted their focus away from loneliness and toward appreciation. This practice can help us too. When we feel lonely, we can remind ourselves of the things we are grateful for. This can help us see that we are not truly alone because we are surrounded by blessings. Seventh, the Stoics believed in the importance of mindfulness. They taught that we should live in the present moment, not in the past or the future. Loneliness often comes from thinking about what we have lost or what we might never have. But the Stoics believed that the present moment is all we have, and it is enough. By focusing on the here and now, we can find peace and contentment. The Stoics practiced mindfulness by paying attention to their thoughts and actions. They tried to be fully present in whatever they were doing, whether it was working, talking, or simply being alone. This practice can help us deal with loneliness by keeping us grounded in the present. Instead of worrying about what we don't have, we can appreciate what we do have. Eighth, the Stoics believed in the power of resilience. They taught that life is full of challenges, but we can overcome them if we are strong and determined. Loneliness is one of these challenges, but it does not have to defeat us. The Stoics believe that we can build resilience by facing difficulties with courage and patience. They practice this by putting themselves in uncomfortable situations and learning to stay calm. For example, they might spend time alone on purpose to practice self-reliance. By doing this, they became stronger and more confident. We can do the same. When we face loneliness with courage, we learn that we are stronger than we think. This builds our resilience and helps us deal with future challenges. Ninth, the Stoics believed in the idea of interconnectedness. They taught that everything in the universe is connected, and we are all part of something bigger. This idea can help us feel less lonely because it reminds us that we are never truly alone. Even when we are by ourselves, we are connected to the world around us. The Stoics believe that we should see ourselves as part of a larger whole, and this can give us a sense of belonging. For example, we can feel connected to nature, to humanity, or to the universe itself. This sense of connection can help us feel less isolated and more at peace. Finally, the Stoics believed in the practice of virtue. They taught that the key to a good life is living with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. When we focus on being virtuous, we feel a sense of inner fulfillment that does not depend on others. Stoics believe that virtue is the highest good, and it is enough to make us happy. By practicing virtue, we can overcome loneliness because we are focused on being the best version of ourselves. This gives us a sense of purpose and meaning that goes beyond external circumstances. In conclusion, the Stoics had a deep understanding of loneliness and how to deal with it. They taught us to rely on ourselves, accept what we cannot change, and see things in a positive way. They also taught us the importance of purpose, community, gratitude, mindfulness, resilience, interconnectedness, and virtue. These ideas are not just ancient wisdom. They are practical tools that can help us today. Loneliness is a part of life, but it does not have to control us. By following the Stoic philosophy, we can find peace, strength, and meaning, even in the most difficult times. The Stoics remind us that we have the power to change how we think and feel, and this is the key to overcoming loneliness. So, the next time you feel lonely, remember the Stoic teachings. They can guide you toward a life of inner peace and fulfillment.